For this episode, I will focus more on the technical aspect of creating music. So we'll literally create a template to create a deep progressive track. So what I will do is I will still make a track with you guys. It will be very minimal, the composition and stuff, but I will create a template that you're going to be able, of course, to get on our site, Weaving Dance Music, for only $5, like every single episode that you watch. We have 100, this is episode 131, so we have 130 other episodes to watch, guys, so check them out. If you got a second, you can subscribe, like, to get to see the new episode. There's 2 episodes a week that get released every Monday and every Tuesday and every Friday. You get a new episode, you get new templates coming out. I do all different genres. I focus mainly on deep progressive, progressive house, tech progressive techno, because I'm a progressive guy, as you can hear already. I also do prog breaks, I do drum and bass, I do trance, so check out the past episode, guys. There's always a template that is attached to every single episode. For today's episode, like I said, I will focus on the technical aspects. I will create more of a work template with different stacks, different buses. I will also explain to you the mastering stack that I use on every single template that you can find on our site. From this series, so it's really a technical thing, a little bit of composition. Yes, of course, it will still be a template, but I want to explain to you guys how I would make this templates, and I will also use this template to make other episodes too. So let's get started. I just loaded 2 instances of Drum Machine Designer here. Why 2 instances? Because I will use the top one here for the low end, and I will use the other one for the top end. So those could be compressed differently in a mix. It's good to have those divided. So I want really one for the kick, and I want the kick and the drums. Maybe some toms, some subs, something. So I will go ahead and record a bit of a drum beat here for you guys. So. Sorry, here. Put it where it belongs. So you have all of the elements here that are laid where they are at their root key. It's very important things to know. If you're bit deeper into music production, you understand that the drums also have keys, and if you want to keep everything in tune, well, you want the key to be at the right place for the drum. So I said that, but it is not the root key. So it is written on the main, so they still have a little bit of work to do with those drums. Okay, I give myself a bit more juice here. So, like I said, because this is a low-end channel, which I will compress a bit differently, it's really just for the low, the subs, the drums, the toms, and things like that. It's gonna be a bit different. So I'm gonna do a second kick here. Oh, the root key appeared here. I had a problem with it not appearing anymore. I'm gonna keep the root key, and I'm gonna have a look at this sample here. Maybe we want to. There's a big difference. So when you have those 2 kicks together, very nice. Let's have a look at what's already there. There's an enveloper, compressor. Let's see if what's the compressor saying. That's good. I would like to go a bit harder, faster release. This is for my taste. If you put a longer release, it doesn't have the same impact. I want it to release quickly. So this is our kicks to start with. I'm gonna go with the low tom here. So the low tom is gonna be here. I'm gonna bring it to where its root key is. It's nice, but I think we need something different, and there's a lot of new samples in the new. Oh yeah. Oh. is the root key now. The root key is all the way up there. That's a little bit of a problem with these. Okay, let's get me nice when it is where it belongs. I don't know. I like this better. So we're gonna keep still that in the low end. And I don't think I have enough low end really, so I will take another one and I will put it probably at the first verse here. So this is cool. How about you bring it down a whole octave? So also, let's say that we have this channel here. There's some effects here. There's an enveloper that could be good if you, but applying that to every single percussions, maybe not. What I would like, however, is probably to add a sub bass here. Go into, oof, that is a little bit much, I would say. Without. Width. So really bringing more lows, and this is definitely way too loud, so I'm gonna bring it down so we have a decent mix too. For this channel, I would like about -9, that is, minus 9 dB. Might sound low now, but once we have the mix in, it's gonna be quite different. So okay, we have the first instance of this drum machine designer here. We're gonna go into the second instance. I'm gonna pick some of the MIDI. I don't want all of them, just one. Can quickly replicate, go here. And let's say that we, for this one, because it is only a top end, it's just the top end, so I'm gonna cut around 200. I still want to keep a little bit of the body, like around, like, you know, 1K to 200, but not too much, but I really don't want any low end of it. So if we feel like it, we could include a plucky kick. Sound like popcorn, nice. Not what we're looking for here, but what we need to start with in this segment is surely a nice snare. And then I'm gonna go again, pick up the root key, which is up there. I'm gonna continue here with some open hats. Don't particularly like this hat. Now we have a hat. I would probably put a little rolling hat at the top of this. sample delay, I want a stereo delay. Then we have the top, so I'm gonna go into some shakers, hopefully. No shakers in this one. I guess not. I guess this is more hip-hop kit, which I don't really mind because the genre is not extremely important into what we are doing. No, there's really no... Okay. I'm going to take the same pattern, but move it a bit forward, so... And then I'm going to go pick up myself a different sample here. Into block, bonk, click. So I'm going to go to shakers here. Oh, we have many more now. Nicely set on the sides. Oh, there's one missing here. So if we want, we can go into this and really try to compress, maybe with a super high ratio, maybe like a ratio of 8:1, to just contain a little bit of percussions. So without, with, so they're not all over the place, and we can actually drop the volume once it's compressed. This we can play later on in the mix. This is just settings that could be good for later. One thing that I like to do for let's say this part is to probably set up a filter too, which could be very useful later on. So we're gonna do touch. I'm gonna go on here onto the low pass, and I'm gonna create some automation. So now the automation is recorded. The automation should be on this channel here. Oh, I'm gonna have to drop that. Show some automation here. The low frequency is here, read here. So now we're controlling the frequency, the low pass frequency of this. We're gonna say why the low pass, because we can have some fun. I mean, I know the most used filter is always high pass, low pass, but here. What is cool about this is it's only on the, it's not only, but it is gonna affect all percussion. So it's cool to have. I'm gonna also put up the track zoom here so I can see it when I select it. So it's just one of the tricks, just to set up the channels properly. So we have a few percussions. Now we're gonna go into the instrument. I like to start personally with the bass, so I'm gonna do a new channel. I'm gonna do alchemy, of course. Multi-timbral, not really. I mean, yeah, this is not Irish sound. Yeah. I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna take, let's say, 2 instances. Then I'm gonna do a track stack. Okay. New drummer track. So wait. So it's been a while I didn't do that, so I don't remember where it is. New software instrument, new drummer track, new audio track. No. Track with the quick setting. No. A new track. Create a stack track. That's what I was looking for here. Summing. It is a summing track because I will sum my bass synths in there. So this is a track stack. So you have the sum of those two here, and then it could be bass. So I'm gonna rename it bass. bass bus here. And then I'm going to record a very simple bass line just to demonstrate the function and what I want to do with it more than anything. So I'm going to go into bass. I'm probably going to pick simple setting. Okay. Okay, well, X. Something is happening, guys, with the audio, I guess. Oh yeah, the all audio, that is. So let's look into the mixer. Ah, somehow the stereo out just went to 0. Okay, maybe I hit some keys. And I'm gonna go back into our synth here. Okay, there's something happening. You might hear some noise, guys. There's quite a storm outside now. Okay, so we have a bass. So the first thing I'm going to do in my bass bus is to set up a sidechain. You can change it later. I think personally it's very important when you do dance music to always have a sidechain. Okay, I'll do FX here, compressor, stereo. I can easily pick up the sidechain into my instrument, deep deck kick 1. And voila, a bit more ratio. I like 4:1 ratio personally. It's 4.1, no, 4.1, this is at 4. Oh well. I'm just gonna go into Alchemy and tweak it a little bit, because let's say we're still making a track. Bit of noise. And let's say that you like this bass, but you also want a little bit of a thump. So I'm gonna pick this here. I'm gonna create some pattern. I'm gonna pick a sound. Maybe a brass could be cool. Let's see. I'm gonna create myself a bit more of a track here. So you might ask, why would I join the bass with this this brass here? Because I think they work together. First of all, they have a good side chain. There are elements that you can play with. And again, if you want to have control over it, I would do the same I do here. I do a touch. Not yet, actually. I will do a touch in a second. First, I will go onto the EQ, turn on, put a very steep slope to this EQ here, and then turn it into a nice filter, a low pass filter this time. Then I'm going to do touch, and I will demonstrate like this. So we're setting up automation, so later when we compose, when we are in the creative flow, it goes fast. So we can hear, you know. But what is nice is you have both elements that are in there. I'm gonna save this. This is episode 131, guys. So now we have some drums, different channels of drums. We have some bass. I think it's time to go. I would call it melodic elements. So first I'm gonna add synth. So create, and then I'm gonna add. Let's see. I'm gonna replicate it. So I'm gonna add 2 more. Go here. I'm gonna create a stack again. This is summing stack here. So this is the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way, but you can follow this example to build your own, of course, or get this one for $5. So this is gonna be melodics. What I mean by melodics, you're gonna see in just a second. So we have those synths up there, very nice. This bass upstairs, and now I'm gonna go into more like some synths. So melodics for me would be plucks, would be stabs, would be just element in the background, not literally. It could be also an arpeggiator, but all of those would be grouped together. I'd really put them in a certain frequency where I believe they belong in the mix. I will cut all the lows up to probably 1,000, 1,500. So I will go and try to pick some, let's say an organ. So when I press F, it does this with the master volume. That's interesting. Let's play the beat that I used before, very nice. course, to demonstrate what I want to do. More than anything here. Still have to make something that is, you know, I would like some plucks. Some plucks here. Okay, this is the weirdest thing. I do not understand that this F now is linked to this function. So some plugs here, this. I'm gonna see the purpose of this bus in just 1 second. Because I have this, I have this. I will also pick up the root key here and do just a quick ARP with it. Like I said, in this episode, I'm making a track, but I'm mainly crafting a template to make other tracks. So it's not really about composing the track, because I would compose the track and show you all the tricks at the same time. It would take quite a long time, so we're gonna skip on that and we're gonna go straight into the meaty part, which is the technical aspect of it. So we're gonna go into arpeggiator, gonna pick a quick one here. Okay, now we have 3 melodic elements. I'm gonna go into this EQ that is in our stack. I think I will have to leave a little bit of room there, because if I cut it at 1K, there's not much left really. Other thing to do in this, so I'm gonna start sending. So I'm gonna take this bus here, I'm gonna do bus 10, and I'm gonna put on a nice reverb. So this reverb is attributed to, again, the stack, not to the individual elements. So whatever I will process will be processed with the the 3 instruments that you can hear. I will also right away clean the low end of my reverb, because I don't want it to be taking too much space in the mix. So it is also cool to do with something like that, straight away automate this. So I do touch, I automate the send here. So I'm going to be able to create again more movement later on when it's going to be needed. So my send effect will rise. So what this does is it sends more signal to the verb. So the verb will sound like it's augmenting, and that's really like the room that's enveloping the sound more and more. So that make a little bit of a messy song, but I think I went a bit too far here, so I can pull it back a little bit. Good. So now we have the drums, we have the bass, we have some melodic elements, you know, randomly crafted, not necessarily like a final product, but at least we have the stacks, we have some automation, have a send reverb here that can create some cool effect, and I will add another send to this one, which would be a delay bus. Same principle, send the signal to a bus. I'm going to use something a bit more advanced for this one. I'm going to use the delay designer with the default preset, which is more than enough for most. So you can hear reverb is here. That I like because it's slowly panning. Let's hear it. Bit much, really. So those channels going to be very useful again later. If I want to add automation, I can do different things with it. All good. We're going to go again. So now we're going to go into a lead stack. So the lead stack is obviously for the lead, but it can be also to stack different part of the lead. So if you want to create a really nice, rich lead, you might want to stack different sounds together, use polyphony, maybe use a lower lead, a top lead, and have different frequency covered, and really still keep the top, but have the richness of all of the oscillators at different frequencies. So let's first create another stack, and then add all of our synths to it. So now we have this stack here is leads. Good, some leads. Now I cannot guarantee that we'll drop a lead that will be worthy of this, but I will still give it a try. Send it to my silver reverb that I created earlier. Let's have a listen. Let's go into leads. Let's go a bit higher in the scale. easiest thing to do. Like I said, guys, this isn't the best I can do musically, but I will demonstrate the purpose. So I have this top lead here. I'm gonna take the same leads. They were around 4, C4. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go and obviously lower the volume. And I'm gonna pick, let's say, an organ to accompany. Maybe I'm a bit low. Maybe I'll go into key. Maybe I have one. So I definitely added some richness. I think the first thing I will do to this bus here is I'm gonna add a compressor and I'm gonna do a sidechain. Actually, we can do that on every of the other buses of the. I'll do it on some for now. Again, 4-to-1. Very quick attack, very quick release for this at least. So also one thing that I like to do, it's not because you already have a sidechain compressor that you cannot actually compress the signal too. So the sidechain is there to pump. This second sidechain here is going to be there to glue. So we're going to force it a little bit. And again, I'm gonna try to put this part into the mix a little bit better, as in cutting where it's already busy. That you have to do by ear because sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. Okay guys, so now we have the drums. We have the bass, we have the melodic, we have the leads. I think we need some effects, so simply I'm gonna actually replicate the leads effect because this is about where they go sonically. It's in a bit of the same, so for this I will do a quick little, because there is a lot of effects in here, sound effects. And then let's just do it for the sake of it. So let's put one here instead, it's gonna have more impact. I would like some kind of riser, if there's something here, I don't know if they call it that. As you guys seen, I do everything with alchemy. Oh, this could work. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna move this over there slowly. And then bring it down. Am I at the wrong synth or something? Maybe I've selected this one. Okay, where is this? Okay, I'm confused a little bit, but sound effects here, and I'm gonna pick up a sound effect. So right now we have some effects, guys. We have, well, not quite a track, but we have enough to have a track. And the only thing that I would see that we could add to this would be some vocal tracks. So we're gonna do plus, so microphone, and then create. And guys, I'm not gonna start singing now, this is for sure. But to record, it's ready to go. So if I do record here, hello, and 1 2 3 3, hello. So let's just do a test. Bum 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 bum. So now we have a vocal track. I will turn the record off because there's feedback. So now we also have a record track. So let's say singer here that we're able to record. I think it is in stereo, which is not the way. Which has to be in mono, of course, like this. So we have this, we have that. The only thing we are missing to our template, which I will put on some work onto it, guys, so it's gonna be more interesting for you, put some descriptions of the elements and stuff, is a mastering stack. So I'm gonna take my stereo out here. I'm gonna turn this off because I'm gonna go a bit mental. first that I do in my personal mastering stack when I do this, for all the templates, if you guys buy any of my templates, you're gonna see it. I highly recommend, if you want to start working on it, to turn it off. It's only to get loudness and to get the effect of a finished track, to get a better idea. So I will start with the compressor here, and the compressor I choose is an Opto with the default setting with a very little. So this compressor has some cool character to it, so I want to use it a couple dB, 2-3 dB at the most. And then I'm also gonna create myself a track for the output here. So I can do this here, and then, oh, it doesn't want me to. I cannot do that. Show up a track. Okay, stereo out is here. So now we also see the stereo out here. So compressor second. I know some people will not like me for what I'm about to do, but I do a limiter, the first of 2 limiter, that is. And I do maybe 3 dB. It really depends on the track, it really depends on many things. Usually I would push it until it hit a little bit of gain reduction. So now I have I don't have much gain reduction. I have about 2 dB, but this is what I need. And then I am going actually into a multipressor. Default setting. I'm looking at the bass first. I look here at the threshold. I want to hit it a little bit, not too much reduction, but still some reduction. Same thing here for the mid-lows. Here into the top end, and of course the very high. I want it to compress. I want to stabilize everything, you know, so you can hear some more finished mix with. It's really not a big difference, but it is enough to make a much better track. So I'm gonna go into EQ next. Vintage tube, which is something that Logic introduced not so long ago, I believe. I just found out. Enhanced mix. This would really give a nice body to the track. I think it's, to my opinion, compensate for the digital aspect of what we do, which is not such a rich, distorted sound. This brings a nice distortion to the track without. It brings that velvety kind of smoothing. And then I'm gonna go into another compressor, guys. It's a very different model. It's my model, it's here, it's called Smooth Compression. And you can see I'm clipping quite strongly here. So I'm gonna drop it maybe 3 dB until I remove the clipping. I'm gonna go, you know, about 3 dB of reduction is what I am looking for. And for the final, I will use yet another limiter, but it's gonna be the adaptive limiter. Gotta make sure I have peak detection on, look ahead optimal. And again here, a couple dB of reduction. But what you get with that is a much more polished, finished sound that you really have a good idea on how the track will sound when it's loud. You know, like I said, I do not recommend anyone to work with this on, because you're gonna mix things and it is not really a good representation. First you do the mix, after that you put this on. So guys, that's gonna be it for episode 31. This is our DAW template creation. I will put some more work into this. I'm gonna put some notes onto the producer comments to the right side. You're gonna see some little indication of how to use the templates, of what you can do. That would be cool. And guys, that's it for this episode. And the most important thing, guys, is may the sound be with you.